Podcast 105. Chris, how's the rhododendron in PA right now?
A rhododendron. It was frozen yesterday, but it's raining now. It's thawing out.
So we got about 36 hours of rain here right now.
Oh yeah,
It all day
ours.
today and pretty much all day tomorrow.
Yeah, it just started this morning, and we're supposed to get it all day tomorrow as well.
Dumb.
It is because I take the week between Christmas and New Year's off every year, hoping to do a little late season hunting,
You
and
don't work. You
it's
quit
gonna
working.
rain. I could get used to this retired life because I do stuff every day. I would keep busy.
Yeah.
Wouldn't hurt me a bit.
Well, um, yeah, so we're almost in the new year here.
Yeah.
I think no. So the podcast releases on Sunday, it won't be the new year yet. But the
No.
next podcast will be 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And you were already getting people messaging you about soul samples and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And I had a few recent. Actually, I pay attention to my analytics on YouTube, and I've noticed my frost seeding videos have gotten they're starting to get an uptick in views over the past like 2 weeks,
Okay.
and I'm starting to get massive amounts of emails for consulting.
Mm.
And did you see my post yesterday about my email?
Yeah, you're blind. You messed up. Operator
No,
error.
no. So I don't know. I don't know the people who email me, but it was a glitch or something because I went into my spam folder and I don't know if it's from people listening or not. So that's why I wanted to apologize. But I open up my spam folder and I check it like once a week. I'll get like I don't know 8 or 10 emails in there of spam, and I open it up. I had one email, and it was from Moultrie Cell Cameras wanting to work with me
Oh.
for cell cams, and I
Hmm.
wrote her back and I said no thank you. So then all of a sudden I go back into my regular email box, and it was like ding 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 ding, all these dings from emails. I'm like, what the heck? I'm scrolling, and it was all from the form that people filled out from my website from 2023, like like 2 dozen from 2023, and then it was like a lot of them from like the 15th of December, like this December. And it was like, y-
So, are these old emails or are these brand new ones you've never seen before?
they're brand new emails that I never received ever.
Oh my.
So I sat last night for an hour and I responded to everybody. And then the
Oh
recent
my.
ones, I responded to as well. And I had like four guys write me back. They're like, yeah, we thought you weren't doing consulting no more or whatever. I was like, dude, I apologize. I never got the email. So if
Wow.
anybody that was listening sent me an email, I wasn't ignoring you. I just didn't get them. Um,
You're
uh,
unresponsive.
no, it was. I feel bad because
You
people were
ignored them.
no, not at all. My phone ignored them. So now I don't know. I'll make it a habit of every couple days of checking my emails on my actual computer and not my phone. But the problem is I got four different emails that I have to cycle through every day to keep up. But yeah, so I apologize.
Wow.
Email again. Best thing to do is my numbers on my website. You can text, call, send a pigeon, whatever you want to do. But I'll get back to you.
Wow.
So with
Crazy.
your questions, hope everybody had a good Christmas. And then with your questions coming in with soul samples and my analytics boosting in frost seeding,
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody can guess what today's topic is.
Let's
But
do it.
we're not far along.
Now, before you know it, it'll be here. I mean, because
Yeah.
well, I mean, I can still hunt till January 20th. So like I'm gonna be trying to hunt every day after work and stuff, trying to fill a couple tags and I told a couple people if I could get a deer,
Hmm.
I'll give it to them. I have a couple people that'll take them. And I know someone's gonna say, "Oh, why are you killing deer if you don't need it?" Well, I have a doe problem here, and yeah, I won't eat it, but somebody will. So
You have a dough problem because you planted year-round food plots, so you created a dough factory.
I did. So I've got dough factories around here, and
Look at
and
this. Did
I'm
you
gonna
know
kill.
I made my own protein bar? David's protein bar?
You wrote that on a Sharpie.
No, it's a
Your mom
brand.
gave you that for Christmas and wrote on it that it was for you, so you wouldn't forget to take it.
No, nope.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah,
So
it now you threw me off base. I don't even remember what I was saying. So yeah,
I
dough
don't.
factory. So yeah, we've got some dough to take, and I'm gonna. So anyhow, my point was, I'm gonna be busy till the end of January, and then next thing you know, the Great American Outdoor Show will be here. We'll be doing, we'll be going to some of these expos and things, and you just lose track of time. Then next thing you know, it'll be March and everybody will be like, "Oh, I got a frost seed, or I got to get these soil samples done."
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's going to sneak up on you really quick.
Well, some guys are going to be able to do it in January. Some guys are going to be able to do it in February. So
Mhm.
it's a thing.
Especially down south. Down south, people are going to be thawed out, and we'll be frozen tundra up here.
Yeah, you get those Alabama, Georgia, and stuff. They get those freeze thaw actions in February and stuff, which is could be 4 to 6 weeks ahead of us. Um,
Yeah, for
so
sure. For
it's
sure.
time. And like you said, the time gets away. I mean, we're already almost into the new year, and
Yeah.
January be over, and then the next thing you know, it's February, and it's here. So why don't we
Yeah.
talk about it? Stop blabbering and talk about it.
Why don't we?
Why don't you start?
Why don't you do something?
I,
So,
I'm rocking.
so one of the things just most recently was I was out last night. The kids, yeah, my elbow cracked. I took the kids went out to a new viewing of a movie that they wanted to see last night, and so the wife and I drove up to Du Bois there, and we picked the kids up, and there was a few things we had to return and pick up a few things grocery wise. Anyhow, we're driving, and my phone was nonstop just dinging. People texted me and stuff, and a couple of them were hunting related. And one of the big questions was a guy was asking when he should get his soil samples. Let me look here real quick so I don't miss talk about this here. So he was asking, oh, the best time of year to get your soil samples to prepare for planning for next hunting season.
I
Should
got a
I wait?
simple.
Should I wait, or is earlier the better? You know. So I said, well, there's no bad times for soil samples. We can't read that. Come closer. Yeah, that's what I just said. There's no bad time to do your soil samples. And if you have open ground that's not frozen right now, you can definitely do that. Um, but save yourself a couple dollars and dry out in the mud. Don't send it soaking wet.
Hmm.
Uh, Throw some cardboard down, let it dry out. Because actually, I send mine through Penn State, and they actually have told me before that if you send them wet, it actually does mess up the test a little bit. So they would like and prefer them to be dry.
Hmm.
So throw the cardboard down, throw out the mud, spread it out, let it dry into some nice crumbly dirt, and then pack it in your bags and send it off. So that'll save you a couple bucks, and it won't screw up your test.
So we have a few. We can. I like local places. I have access to Waypoint.
Okay, yeah,
Waypoint Analytical. I don't like them. I don't like their samples, how they break them down. Honestly, the best. I still use them to this day. I used them for the past 10 years, but just regular old Whitetail Institute um,
yeah,
test samples because you can get. I think it's like January, February. You can get like it's like buy three get three free or something
hmm
on their website, and then they also have them on Amazon, which is pretty cheap. But that's the majority of the ones that I use because they break it down very easily. They tell you exactly how much lime, exactly how much fertilizer, and they give you like recommendations.
yeah,
If you don't want to do that, there's local spots, and most of those local like Co-op or whatever have Waypoint Analytical bags that you can get for free, and then you send it out and do it that way.
I j-
Um,
I just before we got on, I just was scrolling around, looking through some Facebook posts, and Doctor Deer,
mhm,
he just had a post. Um, he put up a site you can click on, and in any state, it'll tell you where you can get your soil samples done
there you go.
on this website. So, and I mean, it excludes little local joints, of course,
Mhm,
but I mean, the big like Penn State, I'm sure for Pennsylvania is going to be on there.
I'm
Um,
sure. Yeah.
and that's the one that I use, and I think I I think I'm only paying $10 a sample for those. Um, and then I do 3 or 4 of them, and I just put them in a one ship box. It costs like $7 or something to send it away. So I
Yeah, I've
don't.
got the whitetail ones for as low as like 12 bucks,
Yeah,
and I'll ship them out all at once. Uh,
it's been a while since I used the whitetail ones, and that
I
they
like them.
they're pretty cool because they do it in color barcodes and things. It's real easy to read.
Well, I'm a dummy, so the samples when they come in are dummy proof. So
Well,
it's they're easy to
they
break down.
actually tell you what fertilizer to use, huh? The number of the
Oh,
bag.
yeah, the number of the bag and how many
Yeah,
pounds of your NPK separately
yeah,
into, I think it breaks it down into 1,000 square feet, or yeah, 1,000 feet square
yes,
feet, and then an acre.
yes,
So they're pretty easy to use. And usually
yes.
anytime I go to like a client's property or something, they always say, "Hey, where do I get a soil sample?" I'm just like, dude, easiest thing, just go to Amazon, order it ships it right to your house. Easy to
Right.
read.
I mean,
Um,
Penn State is a little. You do have to think a little bit.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, Whitetail Institute probably is a little easier for newbies. Yeah, for
Hmm.
sure.
Right.
Yep, yep.
So yeah, I usually do my soil samples probably like March. I try to do them. If you do them, you can do them anytime, but I would say try to do them the same time every time.
Mm.
If you want to do March, pick March. If you want to do June, pick June. But try to do
Mhm.
them the same time. That way, you're giving yourself a full year for that soil to actually make changes and then see how
Well,
your progress is.
and that was one of the things we were going back and forth, this fella and me, last night, and I said, "We'll do it as soon as possible because some of these, even the lime companies, some of them will tell you, well, this takes 6 months to make a difference.
Hmm.
If you add pellet lime on, they say it might take 6 months to actually do something for you. So if you just go out there and throw pellet lime on top of the ground, by the time it gets down into the root zone, it could be 3, 4 months maybe. So uh, I told him, yeah, do it as soon as possible if you can. And what was funny, and I didn't tell him this, it just came up as his name. Well, I have a guy that's down in Georgia by that name, and I have this guy in PA by that name. Different last name, but when Messenger pops up, it's their first name. And I thought I was talking to the guy in Georgia. And I was like, yeah, you should have some thawed ground. Just go out there and dig it up and send it. And then he wrote back and was like, yeah, I'm in central PA as well. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, if you should have some warmer temps this week. If you can dig them up, do it.
Hmm.
So I thought I was talking to the guy in Georgia, and here it was the PA
Hmm.
guy.
Yep.
So, but yeah, he understood.
I had it was like a couple weeks ago. I had some guy arguing with me on my YouTube comments on a liming video, and he's already saying he made this long 7-page freaking paragraph. He said you're wrong. Lime doesn't change the pH. It takes 5 years. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, what are you
Wow.
talking about? And he's like, well, people, he's like, you throw the lime on top, blah blah blah. I said, okay, well, yeah, if you throw lime on top of soil, it's going to take longer to react.
Yeah.
So people with these no-till situations that don't believe in lime and all this other stuff, and you're just using the growth process and nutrients to take its course, you're talking years and years and years. But
Yeah.
if you literally have an area, get a soil sample, figure out how much you need, add the appropriate amount of actual real lime, and work that into the first few inches of the soil. In
Mhm.
1 year, it's a huge difference. I mean, it can make massive changes in 1 year.
Well, here's why. Okay, here's why you want to do that. I just saw a post again. I know I'm watching. I was actually a reel by Growing Deer TV. We all know Grant Woods, right? And he's big into the no-till thing. And he was on there saying, "Do I need to use lime?" That was the question he had as the caption to watch this video, and it had like 200,000 views or something. And of course, people click on it, want to see what he has to say. And well, he's big into the no-till thing, and he reaches down and he grabs this big handful of thatch and pulls it up, and the ground's moist under it. And he said, then he shoots a picture over to Yellowstone Park where there's bison and antelope running, and how the prairie is green. And he tells you that they didn't have lime back there to spread, and look how nice those prairies are and everything. But what he doesn't tell you is it takes, you know, maybe 100 years to grow some topsoil,
Hmm.
and it takes probably decades to break down all that prairie grass and stuff, and over eons of time that that stuff's been on there. Yes, it's feeding itself each year. Do you want to wait that long for your food plot? No. You want a food plot, you want to plant something this summer for next fall or whatever, so you're going to add in your dry ingredient now and get it ready for fall. We don't have time to sit and wait for this stuff eons of time to grow an inch of topsoil or to fertilize itself through degrading material on top, because they don't disc. So it has to degrade and go down. And he was saying about how dry fertilizer speeds up that process. Well, yeah, well, that's what we want to do as food plotters. We want that residue off of there. We want to get dry ingredients to the root zone, and we want a food plot this summer. We don't want a food plot in 10 years. I'm not planting seed for the next 10 years to
Hmm.
get a food plot. I want it this summer. So he didn't prove anything. He's just pushing the initiative for that no-till stuff, you
Well,
know.
it's a crate. Uh, it's a phase right now with this no-till, and it has been for several years. But
Yeah.
um, I get it. People want to do regenerative type things with,
And
you
they want
know,
to go green, and
yeah, go green. I get all that, and
who's
I
got
see,
time for that?
yeah, I see that in maybe like the ag world, the ag industry.
Hmm.
You want, if like a small independent farmer or something, he really wants to have nutritious, no lime, no chemical. I get all that, but we're talking a food plot that a critter eats. Like,
Yeah.
who has 5 years to wait for soil to naturally react to what you're doing?
Right.
Nobody has time for that.
No.
If you just do the traditional soil sample, lime, fertilizer, and disking, 1 year, you're legit. You have a legit food plot. And if you follow the steps, it literally takes 1 year.
Who's
Like, it's
buying? Who's buying a no-till drill that
mhm,
cost 10,000 plus
for
to
1 acre.
do a 1 acre food plot for their
Mm,
deer?
right.
If you are, you're in the wrong industry, bud. I mean, if you got that money to waste, go for it. But that's just silly,
Yeah.
you
It
know.
is kind of silly.
And even the people that are buying, you see all the time someone's buying this drill and they're cutting it in half and making it pull behind your four wheeler. I mean, yeah, that's cool and all, but why?
Yeah, do the initial disking, add your initial lime, and then maybe if you want to, just do like a no-till type thing, and then maybe get into like foiler fertilizing, foiler feeding the plants or something, but just to kind of speed up that process. But again, it
I
boils down to a deer.
Okay, uh, you answer this question. Maybe I'm wrong. When you do these consultations, when you're going out and you're going walking someone's property, what do they want, Dave? Usually they want a food plot in the woods, correct?
Hmm.
Okay. What would be the difference? How many would you say out of 100%, how many do you think want food plots in the woods as compared to the ones that want some field with a food plot? Is it 50-50? Is it more food plot in the woods? What would you say?
Well, in the woods, I tell them you're not going to have a whole bunch of success. You have to cut some trees, and
Mhm,
most of them are interested in doing some cutting to get
mhm.
sunlight. So
But the
I would,
majority of the people that contact you are probably
yeah,
looking for food plots in the woods, right?
yeah, I would say 60-40.
Okay. See, and that's been my experience. When someone contacts me, usually they're trying to make a food plot in the woods because I have a lot of videos of my food plots that I have done in the woods, and they're successful, and I shoot deer out of them every year. And so someone contacts me and they start asking me questions. I'm like, okay, is this a field or in the woods? And normally it's in the woods. And so what I'm getting to is you you're not going to be no tilling in the woods. Okay, you're not, unless you're just doing a throw and grow type of thing, which is usually turns out to be junk. But
Hmm.
you still have to usually scratch around a little bit to get that to grow well. But yeah, I mean, this whole no-till thing, that's not for the deer hunter wanting a food plot in the woods. When Grant Woods is doing videos, he's usually in a field or a prairie or something that's already open. He has done some no-till stuff on very rocky ground on a mountaintop or whatever. Excluding that, though, usually he's somewhere out in the wide open where you can do that every year and eventually make some decent soil. But
Well,
it takes a long time.
he's also planting dozens and dozens of acres.
Yeah.
So who has time to disc dozens and dozens of acres?
Right.
Even if that at that point, I would I would get into probably a no-till drill to save time, but I would still be adding lime and fertilizer
Yeah.
initially to get things going, and then
Right. Right.
to save time, yeah, it makes sense at that point to use a no-till. So we're not saying that a no-till drill doesn't have a purpose because it
No,
does.
I'm not
Um,
against it. I just think who has
yeah,
that time?
I just like even the people that I go to, the properties, I would say 80% of them guys are planning 1 acre or less,
Yeah.
you
Hmm.
know?
I would.
And
I would. That was
and
going to be
I
my next question. How
yeah,
much do they want?
and I get that question all the time. Dave, do I need a no-till drill? I'm like, dude, you have 1 acre. You don't need a no-till drill.
Right.
And they're like, really? I thought that was like what I had to do. I'm like,
Mhm.
no, stop being sucked into that and brainwashed into certain things. Like you have
Right.
to use your own best judgment. Now, if you have 10 to 15, 20 acres, yes, a no-till drill might make sense unless you have this huge tractor with a 20-foot disc on it or something. That then it makes sense. But if you're just planting 1, maybe 2 acres or something, just get yourself a disc and just I mean, it doesn't take much. You don't have to go a foot deep.
No.
Just you scratch the first couple inches of that
Yep.
soil,
Yep.
you can plant.
The,
I mean,
the roots will do the rest.
yeah, it's not that difficult. And people again overcomplicate
Yeah.
overcomplicate it, and it's not that hard.
So I sidetracked us there. So we need to devote some time to our frost seeding.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, are you frost seeding this year, or I should
Yeah.
say
Yeah. I,
next
I
year?
always, I always will. In the end of March seems to be the best time for me where I'm at in PA, where we get that freeze thaw contraction, heaving of the soil. Dave loves that word. And so I,
The
yeah,
question is,
any
what are you
bald
frost
spots,
seeding?
I will be putting in a 4 clover combination, and it has alfalfa in it. And
Okay.
you know what it is. There's going to be some comeback kid from Domain in there.
Hmm.
Um, I might even do some chicory. We'll see. I have some straight chicory here at the house. So I might just throw that in with it. Um, so yeah, that's what I'll be doing. Now, let's talk about how. I mean, and there again, we're talking about a lot of times people are asking for food plots in the woods. So one of the main things you want to do, and I made this mistake in the past that I did not get enough debris off of the landscape. um, because it was just so hard. I mean, raking all that debris off us. So I went and bought a leaf blower. I made it
Mhm.
easy on myself. I got a leaf blower and a hand rake, and I loosen up everything with a hand rake, and then I go back with a blower and get all this leaf debris or any thatch or anything off, and expose that. Get
Mhm.
everything exposed. Um, Obviously, if you don't do that, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Mhm.
So if you don't remove the leaf litter and thatch and things, and you just go out there and frost seed, you're probably going to get less than 50% take.
Yeah.
So,
I'm looking for a new farm for 2025. So I don't honestly know if I'll be frost seeding
mhm,
for next year because it'll be a brand new location. So I'll probably end up working some annuals or something in there the first year, and then maybe plant brassicas with clover, and the following year have a clover plot. But I'm currently looking for a new one, so um, I'm not sure if I'll be doing that or not. But years prior, I mean, I've always frost seeded. I have dozens of frost seeding videos, and I'll be making more frost
I
feeding videos this
it's
year.
almost foolproof as long as
It
you don't
is.
have a bunch of stuff thatch wise on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, and even if it's grass, make sure it's short. You know,
Hmm.
have it mowed as tight as you can, and get that dirt exposed.
Yeah.
And that
Gotta
was
have.
one of the questions I had a couple weeks ago. A guy was like, "Hey, I've got this field, and over the winter time, the grass is minimal." I said, "Yeah, but how minimal? Does it look like is it high enough to mow?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Well, you kind of really want it mowed tight as you can, because if not, any moisture, those little seeds will stick to that moisture or whatever, and then the birds will pick it all up,
Hmm.
and they will. They'll clean you out. It has to hit that dirt."
Yeah. You want to do it in you, you don't want to do it in just your backyard with grass growing. You want to,
Right.
if you want a legit spot, you want to do it in a prepared,
Sure. I
uh,
mean,
seed
it's
bed.
advantageous to scratch it around,
Yeah.
get that dirt
So
exposed. And
the
that reminds me, you was going like this. My cedar broke.
mm,
The gears inside
hmm
stripped, and it won't spin. So
you got to buy a new
I've,
one.
I've got to buy a new over the shoulders, probably Earthway.
Yeah,
And
I'm thinking about shifting. I'll probably get an Earthway. I got to get a new one too, but I'm so tired of the bag falling in, and
yeah, right.
it won't. I'm so it aggravates me to no end
Yeah.
that a spreader now costs the price of the spreader's doubled, but yet they can't figure out a way for the thing to stand vertical.
Yeah, and the bad part is when you lay it down, it's so
Hmm.
off balance because
It is.
it's on the spinner,
Yeah.
and the back of the bag wants to fall all the time.
Yeah.
So when you fill it up, it always wants to tip over and spill your
Yeah.
seed. That
And
is
I've
aggravating.
And I've seen guys put buckets in it to keep it full. I
Yeah,
don't wanna do that.
that's what I had, and it is a pain.
I want a spreader that just stands vertical. So I might go to one of those,
What is that, Solo?
uh,
Has that big
I
plastic thing?
think it's a Solo one. If not,
But that thing looks like it's like 2 feet tall.
it does.
It looks uncomfortable.
There's another one, that's got, wires that stand the bag vertical, but
Oh,
I can't remember the name of it. But I'll get something. But yeah, the bag collapsing, you end up spilling seed. It's just so annoying. Like
it
I
is.
just I don't want to deal with that anymore. So,
It is annoying.
and I go through them earthways pretty a lot. So
Yeah, they
um
get spun up pretty quick.
yeah, so I end up getting a new one. But yeah, I don't know if I'll be frost hitting. And I might have a whole new video series on a brand new property that I'm working on. So
Mhm, mhm.
we shall see.
Yeah, yeah, I will definitely be doing it again. And I mean, it's like I said, it's foolproof. It's pretty easy. I mean, if you don't have the tools to put in a food plot, to disc or whatever, this is the easiest way to do it. All you need to do is mow as tight as you can,
Right.
and a hand rake. You can scratch up the dirt with a hand rake and toss that seed out and let nature do the rest. It'll suck them seeds down in all them cracks and crevices and plant it
Hmm.
for you.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
easy,
Easy. Done.
easy.
Finished. Finished product.
Kind of like this episode.
Finished.
Finished.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys on 105. Huh? 6?
Yep, this is 105.
You said 104.
I'm gonna kill you.
You lied.
This is 105. The next one's 106.
All right. Chris is on track.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hope you guys have
Yep.
a good week because this
Have a
podcast
good
comes
New
out.
Year.
Yeah, it comes out on
'Cause we
Sunday nights. So have a
we
good
won't see
week.
them till next year now on
Yeah.
106.
And whoever's watching on Spotify, thank you. Because like the views on Spotify are just whew,
Right?
it just took off. So whatever triggered that, that's cool. So we
Yeah.
appreciate it.
And let me add real quick in the end here.
Here we
Again,
go.
I want to reiterate that my channel, City Sticker, is going to be on 2 Roku channels,
Hmm.
the American Angler and Backroads TV. And you can see some of our podcasts are uploaded there already, Dave. So
What
someone
is it
might be,
called?
one's called American Angler.
American Angler. Okay.
And the other one's called Backroads Television.
Back
Backroads Outdoor
Roads
TV.
Outdoors. And it's
Yeah.
all on Roku.
Yep. Yep. You just have to look it up.
I'm gonna look it up.
They don't have like a channel number or nothing, but
Yeah, I'll
so
look it up.
yeah, there's some episodes already up and running.
All right.
So people are able to watch some of that stuff there. And I don't get to choose what goes on there, guys. The channels are pulling from my channel. You know, they preview them and they upload what they want. So, but the one channel's interested in some of the podcasts, so some of those are already up. So that's
Sounds
pretty
good.
cool. Different
Yeah.
platform for people to see.
Hmm.
You know, so all right.
We'll
See you
see you on
guys
the next one.
on 106 next year.